Well, hello. Welcome to Moment of Clarity. Good to be back with you. Let's dive right into it. Please share this, by the way. Let people know to join us here for today's Moment of Clarity. I do these every single weekday. I never miss one except sometimes. And you can always get them at leecamp.com. Well, folks, it's an exciting week. It really is very exciting. The Taliban Bounties story is back, and it's better than ever. I have to admit, the Taliban Bounty stories has to be one of my all-time favorite, just utter horseshit, bullshit, lies, responses, interaction. It's up there. It's up there. And I'm going to get into why in a second. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say it's my second favorite. It's my second favorite bullshit response. Second only to when Donald Trump said he couldn't have raped that woman because, quote, look at her, she's not my type. When someone accuses you of rape, you're supposed to go, I would never do such a thing. Not, she's not my type, you fucking asshole. That's honestly, that's like if someone accused you of stabbing a guy to death and your first response was, what? I don't have knives sharp enough. My knives are not very sharp. They're not. It takes me a solid 3 minutes just to carve into a meatloaf. My knives are not, I would have, for the first 20 minutes, it would have just felt like I was tickling him. So yeah, I have very dull knives. Terrible excuse. Anyway, the Taliban bounty story is back. And you remember the first time back in July. I'm going to show that. Well, I'm going to show you how fairness and accuracy in reporting hit on the Russian, their response to by the way, they're a great outlet. If you ever want to find out what the fucking media is doing, fairness and accuracy in reporting does a great job. So here is fairness and accuracy in reporting response to the Russian bounty story back in June, July. They said, in Russian bounty story, evidence-free claims from nameless spies became fact overnight. The New York Times comes out with a story that unnamed anonymous sources saying that Russia had paid bounty to the Taliban to have them kill U.S. troops. And then the rest of the mainstream just like ran with it without the anonymous source part. They just said, oh, Russia paid bounties, and they just run with it. And they do. It's amazing to see the mainstream media just jump on it like a dog in heat. And then they act like it's fact when it's literally has no evidence at all. Plus, offering the Taliban money to kill U.S. troops it's like offering a fish money to swim. You don't need to. He's kind of already into that. Anyway, the whole story was based on nothing, and its fairness and accuracy in reporting said at the time, quote, it is standard journalistic practice to name and check sources. The Society of Professional Journalists Code of Ethics insists that reporters should use every possible avenue to confirm and attribute information before relying on unnamed sources, and that we must, quote, always question sources' motives before promising anonymity, because too many provide information only when it benefits them. Without a name to go for a source, there are no, this is continuing, fairness and accuracy reporting says, without a name to go with the source, there are no consequences for sources, or journalists for that matter, to lie and spread malicious rumors. Using an anonymous source is implicitly asking readers to trust a reporter's judgment and credibility. To trust the New York Times credibility. Oh, it's so fucking pathetic. But anyway, now the Russian bounty story, not new. All right. That's not why I'm bringing you this moment of clarity. That's not new. But once the Russian bounty story fell through, CNN told us a few months later, they ran with a headline, quote, U.S. intelligence indicates Iran paid bounties to the Taliban for targeting American troops in Afghanistan. Oh, now it's Iran. No, it wasn't Russia. It was Iran that did it all the time. I knew it. I knew those dirty Arabs or Persians or whatever they are. I bet they did it. And there you go. They did it. But that didn't stick either, because there was also no evidence, no proof, no time frame, no area, nothing to back it up. So now, just a few days ago, we learned from the New York Times, quote, Trump was briefed on uncorroborated intelligence about Chinese bounties. It was the Chinese. God, I knew it. I knew it was the Chinese. I knew they did it. It was the Chinese. We just thought it was the Iranians because Iranians look, they look like Chinese people, which also look like Russians. Everyone knows that. They all three of them have the same arms. They're all very, very, very similar arms. But yet again, just like the ridiculous Russian and Iran bounty stories, there are no sources, no evidence, no proof, just unnamed sources and the say-so of media outlets that have lied us into one war after another, after another, after another, after another. And the people who gave this information to the New York Times and to CNN are just vague, ghost-like figures, anonymous intelligence agencies, anonymous intelligence officials these are the type of people who are proud of the fact that they lie to achieve their goals. They hardly even cover that up, right? Mike Pompeo said, we lied, we cheated, we stole. Very proud of it. It's not even a secret. They admit it. Honestly, go talk to a retired CIA guy. See if he tells you they always told the truth. Go talk to Grandpa. He'll tell you, oh yeah, we used to lie. We used to lie our faces off. That's right. But you know, it was for the good of the country. It was for the good of the country. It was so we could kill more of those Orientals. So they'll tell you. It's not a secret. So we're trusting these people who are not just known to lie, but largely admit they lie. And using unnamed sources is supposed to be this very rare practice, as it's harmful to journalism and to, the truth. According to Fairness and Accuracy in Reporting, quote, the New York Times' own guidelines on integrity strongly discourages the practice of using unnamed sources. The paper's public editor wrote a few years ago, there is nothing more toxic to responsible journalism than an anonymous source. That's the New York Times themselves says that. Nothing more toxic to journalism. And here they are running around telling you yet more bullshit from anonymous sources. That sums it up. They summed it up themselves. Nothing more toxic to journalism. The Times article on the Chinese bounties even says, quote, United States intelligence agencies collect enormous amounts of information, much of which turns out to be false or misleading. Then why the fuck are you printing this? Why the fuck are you just said it's not true or false or misleading? That's like having a big headline in the newspaper, just giant headline says, half man, half ring-tailed lemur seen licking own crotch in Biloxi, Alabama. And you're like, oh my God, this is an incredible story. I got to read this. And then you read the article, and in the second to last paragraph, it says the only person who saw the lemur man hybrid was a woman with dementia who thinks she's a Siamese cat with worms. And then you get to that sentence, and you're like, then why the fuck did you write this article? Well, that's basically what the New York Times has done. Within the article about how China has paid bounties to the Taliban to kill Americans, they say, yeah, a lot of this information is false or misleading, and we don't actually know. Fairness and Accuracy Reporting also points out that within the New York Times article, they seem to be salivating at the possibility of creating nuclear war with China. The Times said, quote, if confirmed, and particularly if traced to political leaders in Beijing, double if, we got a double if here. If confirmed and if traced to political leaders in Beijing, such an action by China would constitute a grave provocation that might demand a response by President-elect Joseph Biden after he takes office in January. What in the actual fuck? The New York Times is like, they're acting like an overexcited teenage girl who just really wants to see a lot of killing and death. She's like, please, please bomb China, please. Please, can you please cause our own nuclear annihilation? It would be like so fun. It would be so fun. And I bet my Instagram would just be fire. No, like literally fire. Just everything burning down. Just my whole family dead. That would really be great. And I would get to say, told you so. That's the New York Times. A death-obsessed teenage girl. So let's recap here. This is the third time the corporate media has tried the Bounties stunt in the past 6 months, each with a different U.S. adversary. Each story has no evidence, no proof, no names, no time frame, no location other than Afghanistan, which is a rather large country. And on top of that, apparently the Chinese/Russians/Iranians are getting dick for their investment because only 11 U.S. soldiers were killed in Afghanistan in 2020. Man, those imaginary bounties must not be high enough. Need to crank them up a little. Okay, so we can all admit that this story about the bounties is 147% false. So it raises the question, what the fuck do the writers at the New York Times think they're doing? What do they honestly go home every night and think to themselves, well, I did it. I did it. I made up some crazy story to help further U.S. hegemony. I'll sleep well. I'll sleep well knowing at least a few dumb saps fell for that shit. That's going to feel good tonight. I mean, is that how it works? Is that what they're telling them? Is that what they're thinking? I'm honestly asking because I can't picture working that hard to write garbage and then not going home and wanting to down a bottle of vodka and Tylenol and mixed in with a few razor blades just for good measure. I mean, working at the New York Times it's supposed to be this awesome, impressive, sought-after position for Ivy League fucking tools who want to impress their parents who never loved them. So do they really get satisfaction out of producing, excluding investigative pieces like this turd? The mind struggles to understand what the fuck they think they're doing. I mean, without even knowing that there's no proof on this story, don't you just hear the story and go, that can't be right? That sounds ridiculous. Think about what the fuck is that conversation? Chinese guy walks up to a Taliban fighter in the middle of Afghanistan. Hey, nice rifle. First of all, that is a lovely rifle. It's very shiny. So I was thinking, if I gave you like $1,000, could you kill some American soldiers? And then the Taliban guy being like, we're doing that. I've been trying. I've been trying pretty hard. And the Chinese person being like, yeah, but well, what could you try even harder if I paid you, if I gave you money? Yeah, I'm listen, I'm really trying. I wake up each day and I try to think of ways to kill them or hurt them. You know, it's just hard. They have a lot of like guns and money and stuff, and so it's just hard. It's hard. Yes, but what if I paid you? What if I gave you money? Yeah, I can't. I don't know what to tell you. I can't try any harder. Okay, I try to kill Americans. I can't. I already do all the trying I can. You can give me money if you want. I'll take it. I'll take some money, but I'm already doing my best. Okay, well, the truth is, I'm not Chinese. I work for the New York Times, and I'm trying to drum up a story. And I figured if I paid you to kill Americans, then we'd really have something. We'd really have a story here. You work for the New York Times. That's just pathetic, man. That's just pathetic. You work for that garbage? That's pathetic. Anyway, that's how I picture the scene going down. I don't know. I don't know how else it could. That's your moment of clarity. But yeah, believe it or not, they're trying the bounty story for a third time. Third time's the charm. You know, if it doesn't stick with Russia and Iran, go for China. And this shit, I mean, I know I said this earlier, but I don't know if I stressed it enough. This shit that the New York Times spits out is then they run away with it on like CNN or Fox News or what, and they talk like fucking it. Biden mentioned the Russian bounty story in the debates, the presidential debates. Like it was like an ongoing, and it just became fact, right? Because New York Times puts in all these equivocating words like unconfirmed and anonymous sources, and then CNN just goes, Russia pay bounties, Taliban kill Americans. Rachel Maddow showed photos of people, of soldiers she said were killed by the bounties without any, there's no evidence that ever happened. She just showed pictures of soldiers that had died in Afghanistan and said, I bet they were killed for the bounties. Like, it's fucking pathetic. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. And please let everybody know I do these every single weekday, except sometimes. And they're all at leecamp.com. You can join the email list, free email list, by texting the word redacted to 33777. If you're if you're outside the US, you can go to leecamp.com and join the free email list. I also have a podcast, 2 podcasts you should check out. Government Secrets is one of them, and another one's called Common Censored. Government Secrets, I think you'd really enjoy. We go through all the CIA games, the CIA coups, the assassinations, everything else. And that's with Graham Elwood. It's called Government Secrets. All right, guys, keep fighting. Talk to you soon.